I, oh no, it's just building. It looks like, oh, it should be, it's live. We are live.
It says it's live streaming.
Good. Excellent. So we are live, so we can get started here.
Go ahead and get started then. Okay,
You
a few
got it.
announcements. Blair, if you want to put that, share the screen and put that sort of poster up.
Yep,
Um,
working on it.
Just a reminder that we are on break for the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's. So we will not be here December 23rd and the 30th, but we are back January 6th. We also want to bring to mind, Blair has a podcast, Mind Model Mastery Secrets, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. That drops twice a week, 2 episodes weekly. And then Mind Model Minutes podcast is also on YouTube. You can get a free profiling session. Blair usually charges good money for this. This gives you insights into yourselves that you might not ever have heard before. And he's just incredibly insightful. So it might be something that you would like to take advantage of. LinkedIn.com. Slash something.
Yeah, linkedin.com/in/Blair Dunkley 1.
Thank you for that. I'm having some
worries.
trouble with my eyes right now, so
No
I'm not
worries.
able to see that. Anyway, moving on to the introduction here. Welcome to the 375th episode of the Blair Dunkley Experience, where we discuss mind models. Your host for this evening is Blair Dunkley, the creator of Mind Models. My name is Patty. I'm a certified mind model method coach and your co-host tonight. Mind models are a collection of extensively tested thought frameworks, skills, and behaviors that enable people to transform their lives intentionally. The BDE is Blair's free gift to you and is an opportunity to learn, experience, and practice mind models in a safe, real-world environment. Personally, mind models helped me overcome more than a decade of depression. They have positively impacted every area of my life, including my relationship with myself. So we look forward to learning with you and welcome you to the BDE tonight. Blair, you have been doing some very interesting videos in summary and introduction of our new material. I know that you've got a really good one for tonight. So would you like to show that one to us?
Yeah, I thought it was here. Okay, just give me a moment. Sorry, I need to tap dance a little bit. Um,
Okay.
because
Well,
it
just to
wasn't
fill you in, let us know when you've got it. But to fill you
I,
in on what we're doing tonight, this is a retrospective tonight. So it's our reflections on behaviors and feelings that are impacted by mind models and the BDE Insider Notes from 318 to the present in 2025. You got it set?
I do. I do.
All
I
right.
just need to
Take it away.
thank you. I'll just share this. Actually, let me just uh go here, click on share and optimize and share. And hopefully this thing.
You know, looking back on 2025, there was one question that just kept popping up more than any other.
We
How
do
do we
not
get
have the
unstuck?
visual. We have the
Especially when
auditory,
it
but
feels like
not the
our
Oh,
own
visual.
mind is
sorry.
the one setting
Two
the trap.
two
So
seconds.
today, we're going to dive back into the most powerful mental tools we covered this year, the ones that actually...
Okay. Yeah, it didn't bring it up properly. Did
There
you
we
guys?
go.
Okay, good. I'll just restart it. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Not tech is not my strong suit here, but it's not bad. Okay, so
You know, looking back on 2025, there was one question that just kept popping up more than any other. How do we get unstuck? Especially when it feels like our own mind is the one setting the trap. So today, we're going to dive back into the most powerful mental tools we covered this year, the ones that actually give us a way out. I mean, have you ever felt like this? It's like you've checked into a hotel in your own head, but you can't check out. You've lost the key, nobody's at the front desk. You're just stuck, walking in circles, replaying the same old thoughts over and over again. It feels like there's literally no way out. Well, it turns out there's actually a name for this mental trap. It's called a why hole. And yeah, it's that place, that state of mind that fuels all those feelings of anxiety, depression, and just being completely, totally stuck. So let's break down what this mental trap is actually made of. There are a few key things to look for. First, it is always 100% based in the past. Always. And it's a state where your emotions get the jump on your logic, which is what fuels all those excuses. But the big one, the really crucial part, is that it's where we find ourselves reliving old pain, not just, remembering it. So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If this place sounds familiar, if you've ever been a guest at the Y-Hole Hotel, how in the world do you actually check out for good? Okay, so the first big aha moment we had this year is that all that talk about just changing your mindset, well, that's not really the answer. The real key is something way more practical. It's about having actual, identifiable, repeatable skills. And get this, when you actually look at the data, relying on mindset alone, just trying to think positive to get out of the hole, it has a shockingly low effectiveness rate. We're talking 1%. Just one. Now, compare that 1% to this number, 80%. That's the effectiveness rate you get when you start applying tested, repeatable life skills, the exact kind of practical tools we're about to get into. And yeah, these skills, they have a name. They're called mind models, and I want you to think of them less like a philosophy and more like a toolkit for your mind. It's a collection of these proven frameworks and real-world skills that you can learn and use to, intentionally transform your life and get the results you're actually looking for. All right, so where do we even start with building this toolkit? Well, the first set of skills we're pulling from our 2025 retrospective is all about one single thing, learning to see the world and, just as importantly, ourselves with a whole lot more clarity. And this is so fundamental. We have to learn how to separate our internal story from external reality. What's going on inside our heads, our thoughts, our feelings, all those stories we tell ourselves versus what's happening in the external world. That's the stuff that's objective, observable, verifiable. A good rule of thumb is if you could record it with a video camera, it's external. Everything else, that's internal. And that distinction is really the goal here. See, we're not aiming for certainty. Certainty is actually a trap. It's a telling process that's based on all our old stories, and it's what keeps us stuck in that why hole. What we want is clarity. Clarity is a questioning process. It's all about being curious, gathering new data, and opening the door so we can finally take action. Okay, let's move on to the next tool in the kit and see how this all starts to build on itself, because once we can see things more clearly, we need the skills to actually handle what we feel, without letting those feelings completely run the show. So many of us feel like we're being held hostage by emotions from our past. Things like trauma, regret, anger. They can feel like they're happening right now, in this very moment, even if the event itself was decades ago. But here's the thing. It doesn't have to be a life sentence. And this next idea, man, this was a total game changer for so many people this year. It's the difference between remembering and reliving. When you remember something, you're just accessing a memory, but you're aware that you're safe in the present. There's some distance. But when you relive it, your brain's emotional center lights up like a Christmas tree, as if it's all happening again right now. And that's what re-traumatizes you and keeps you stuck. So the skill, the real trick, is learning how to remember without reliving. Okay, so we're starting to see clearly, we're learning to feel effectively. What's next? Well, the final piece of this puzzle is all about acting intentionally. It's about taking all that newfound clarity and emotional balance and actually translating it into deliberate action, the kind that gets us where we want to go. And this isn't just about doing something for the sake of it. No, this is about having a framework, almost like a scientific method, to test our own behaviors, to see what actually works, instead of just guessing or, falling back into the same old patterns that don't get us anywhere. And here is that framework. It's called the IBR model. It's a super simple 4-step loop. First, you set a clear intention. Then you choose a specific behavior to test out. Then, and this part is crucial, you evaluate the data you get back without any judgment. And finally, you just observe the result. So for example, let's say your intention is to stay calm in a tense meeting. The behavior you test might be taking one deep breath before you speak. Then you evaluate. Hey, did I stay calm? What was the result? It's a simple little formula for constant learning and real progress. So now we have these really powerful individual tools, right? Seeing clearly, feeling effectively, and acting intentionally. But the big question is, how do they all work together? How do you combine them into a practical, step-by-step process that can actually help you climb out of the why hole? Well, this is it. This is the escape plan, really in its simplest form. It's a 3-step sequence that pulls together all the tools we've just talked about into one reliable process, something you can use anytime you feel yourself starting to slip. Let's just walk through it real quick. Step 1, get aware. This is all about using a tool to notice what's going on inside you before you get triggered, like Inanapu, which is an acronym for common triggers: being alone, in a new situation, angry, nervous, proud, or uncertain. Okay, then step 2 is to get perspective. This is where you separate your story from the other person's story and from the objective situation. And finally, step 3, get effective. Here we use the 3 E's. We focus only on what's external and observable. We choose the action that's most effective, and we use evaluation, not judgment, to figure out what to do next. You know, I just love this quote from James Thurber. It is better to know some of the questions than all of the answers. It just perfectly captures the whole spirit of these mind models, doesn't it? It's about shifting away from feeling like you need to have all the answers, which is that certainty trap again, and instead moving toward the power of just asking better questions. And really, that's the biggest takeaway from this whole year of exploring these models. Your mind, it isn't some fixed object. It's not just something you're stuck with. When you have the right skills, the right tools, it becomes something you can actively build and shape and strengthen. So that leaves us with one final question to carry with us from this 2025 retrospective. If your mind really is a toolkit, and now you've had a little peek at what's inside, what are you going to choose to build?
So, starting off with that, what are you going to choose to build for 2026? Anyway, I'm going to start with Brent and bring you up in here, if you don't
All right. So you're looking for an answer for that question?
Yeah, actually, if you want, you can go,
Yeah.
what have you learned about yourself or
Okay.
in 2025 and then 2026? Because that's really what this is all about.
Yeah. Oh, 2025. What have I learned about myself?
Mhm.
Well,
And by the way, I
yeah.
picked on Brent, but I'm going to give fair warning to everybody else because I'm going to do the same thing to you guys as well. Shane, Christy, you're in the mix. Sorry, um, you are, because you've learned a lot this year and where you're going with this stuff. Okay, so just fair warning. And Jacqueline, I know you're off camera, but I'm still going to call on you too.
What I've learned. So is old habits. They do come back if you are not consistently working on new behaviors. If you get stuck or you stop and your old habits come back, it may not be right at the moment, but they work your way back in.
Yep.
Those habits you've had for years, they come back. So that's one thing. And I have, with the coaching, becoming the coach certified, learning a lot more about the mind models. And this year on the BDE, we dug deeper into the mind models that we've gone over before, but we went deeper. That was this year. I remember, starting. I think this notebook I have is like from the beginning of the year. It just happened to time out a new notebook for the beginning of from January till now. So I was able to look at it, and every sense was going deeper. Everything we did was a next level deeper. So I
Yeah.
remember the barriers, blocks, and beliefs was in the beginning, and that was one I wanted to go over because it took a few times to get the hang of it and to understand that. We did 4 parts on that one piece alone, and usually it was just one night, but there's a lot of information. And going over it for 4 weeks, we went over that piece to get really clear on it and understand the differences and how to see, what to look for and what those differences are to see those. And
Mhm.
then, going on, we did, was it I believe we did a reboot series. We went
Yep,
back
we
over from
did.
the basics in the beginning, and then that's going deeper in there, and then from there we went into that, and then it transitioned into the why holes. Like halfway through the year or a few months ago, it was big into get the stuckness, and then what that looks like and the skill sets to move out from there. So this year was great to dig into the mind models a little bit deeper on here, so we get a little more discussion on it. That's one piece we can use them and read them, but this is the place where we get to actually see different perspectives and discuss them and how they're used and see that. So it was great to get that, not just the more surface level, but a little bit deeper in understanding.
Absolutely. You know what? That's great. I'm going to split this up. I'm going to do what have you learned about yourself or with the mind models or whatever this year? What's the big takeaways? So I think I'm going to jump in here. Leslie, do you mind jumping in? You're looking semi-thoughtful.
Thank you. I've learned a lot this year. I'm learning more in using how to use the mind models. I'm learning to better control my emotions, naming and labeling them even.
Yeah.
And certainly IBER has probably been one of the larger and more useful isn't even the right word.
Effective?
Yes, more effective mind model. But I've learned to work with it as well, and just having had many occasions to stop and think and work this through to set it out as an important behavior
Mhm.
to enact, to use, to function with. So it's definitely been a good year.
Excellent. Good. So that personal takeaway, how would you sum that up?
Just keep looking back at IBER.
Okay.
So many things are coming to mind that have helped that are as well. It's self-other situation. But just slowing down, stopping and thinking. What is it that you want to, what is your intention? What's about to happen here? What do I need to do to make it work, to be effective? And also, there's something that's come to mind is learning to stop doing something. If
That's
it's
huge. Yes.
if I'm not getting the results that I want, stop. Because there's something wrong. You don't get it. I'm not getting it, I should say. I'm not getting it. I'm not paying enough attention. Not focusing. So stop, go do something else until and waiting until I feel that it is appropriate to get back into doing that activity that I wasn't doing right.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a lot.
It is. It is. And do you mind if I ask you what the impact is on your life because of that?
I'm not as stressed out. I'm more in control. I think I'm a happier person.
Yeah. I would concur with the happier person. That was the thing that first popped into my head. I went, yeah, Leslie's happier.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, great. Any other things that you'd like to add about 2025? And think about 2026 and where you'd like to go. So I'm not going to ask right now. I'm going to do one more sort of quick round if we have time. I think we should. But yeah. Okay,
Yep.
great. So I'm going to pick on Christy next.
Sure can.
Great. It's so good to have you back on, Christy.
I agree. It's good. I've been watching the replays on the like YouTube a few days later and stuff, and so I try to stay on top of things, but sometimes
Life
know.
happens. I know.
It- yes, it's been
Don't worry about it.
crazy.
It's just wonderful having you here. It's all
Thank
I'm
you.
commenting on.
Okay.
So the question is 2025.
Okay.
So what have you learned about yourself or about how you're using mind models? So like what worked for you in 2025?
So the more and more that I use mind models and learn them, I was trying to be all clever and whatnot, but so I'm just gonna bleh.
Good.
So
Just
anyway,
do the
you
bleh.
yeah,
That's
using the mind models and what I've learned from having them be a part of my everyday vocabulary and whatnot. I've learned to recognize when I'm falling into my own why loop and that I catch things that used to trigger me and whatnot and think that the world was just after me because every time I would turn around there would be something and what's next and here's this and then just when I think I move forward it's like 3 steps back because there's another thing. And so able to stop that in its tracks and just come present and be able to use the mind models. And then Shane's favorite power of choice, choosing to move forward because I can't stay there because I know the mind models to move forward. So it's one of those
I call it a double-edged sword.
Yeah, sometimes it feels really good just to cry and be all up in my business and have that little pity party, but then I don't get to stay there because I know how to move forward. And that feels better because I'm not staying and reliving and all that. It's just a real quick remember and let's move forward.
Exactly. Do you sometimes get pissed off that you know the mind models
So
now?
much so. So much
Yeah,
so.
me too. I have a love-hate relationship with these suckers.
Yes,
Are you
I do.
are you gonna throw in the "Don't Blare Me"?
That used to be how it was, and now I kind of wait for it to see. So which one did I use this time, or something in that sense. But and then growing from not only being able to see that in me, and when I am using them, it's helped me to be able to recognize and notice them when other people are starting in their why holes or they come up with all the things. And then it allows me to ask the better questions and not have all the answers, just like your slideshow said. Just, keep asking the questions, and I don't need to, they have the answers. I just ask the questions. And so
Right.
those are really, really great. That's kind of what I look forward to in the upcoming year, is just to be able to, like, just seeing Leslie smiling and feeling good, and even myself smiling and feeling better and whatnot. I just know that it's so much more maybe peaceful, that it like, I don't have to, I mean, I stress out about things, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same. It's different. It's just because, life is stressful sometimes, but we move forward, but I see it in a different way, and I move forward in a different way. It's not all gonna get me. It's
Effective.
it is. It's very effective moving forward instead of thinking whatever. But anyway.
You know what? I concur with what you're saying. And I was just reflecting back on even before you took coach training, but how stressed slash nervous you would be initially when you got on here, and
Yeah.
all concerned and everything else, and how calm and how fluid, and it's okay that it's not perfect and it comes out perfectly. Like it's not, it's like the perfectly imperfect,
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
And it's like perfectly imperfect. And you sound so calm and relaxed doing this stuff. It's like, holy crap, it's good.
it's so I can't stress enough how much it helps, just even within Shane and I's communication, but even within our family. Because whenever we have anything going on, I don't ever hold back having a conversation with Shane, because I'm not afraid to, because I know it's, that we know the questions, and how to ask the questions, and, is that effective, ineffective, using the mind models to get through what we're feeling, what our
Yeah.
concerns are, and then to be able, if we have stuff coming up with on the ranch and the kids and things, whether it's business wise or life wise, we are able to have those conversations and be like, okay, am I seeing it this way? This is how I feel about it. Walk me through it. And we're able to have those big conversations that are so beneficial to not only us and our relationship, but business and with our family relationships.
Isn't that
Christine?
amazing? Like, I am
Yeah,
so
Christy,
happy
I
hearing.
need to ask you a question. Is
Go
that a
ahead.
change in your relationship with Shane?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I always knew I could talk to him, but sometimes it would be
Weeks.
way down the road, and sometimes
Weeks.
there would be silent treatments and
Oh,
attitude,
let it
and
fester.
hey, you're the same way.
Let it fester. Something little used to bother, and instead of just talking about it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now it's like we just come.
Yeah.
Let's
Now
talk
it's just
about
like,
it.
all right, I got some stuff going on. I need you to walk me with it. So it is, even just that thing, I think it would help so many, even just marriages and
Now you could,
relationships and everything.
you could market this as marriage counseling.
Well, I used to do marriage counseling.
Yeah. But it's just really, it just feels really good.
Yeah.
You know,
Interesting.
Christy
Okay.
was just the other day. She was like, "Did you even hear a word I said?" And I said, "Man, that's a strange way to start a conversation."
Anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna pick on Jacqueline if she's
Well, we haven't
around.
heard from Shane yet.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna come back to
You're
him
gonna come
after
back to
Jacqueline.
him? Okay. All right, Jacqueline.
I don't know if Jacqueline. Yes, she
There
is.
she is.
Yay.
Okay. Well, actually, there's a few things. It feels weird talking with these earbuds in. Anyway, so it all actually started with the shy label that I
Mm.
and when I
Right.
tested it out, I've actually found out I'm not shy at all. funny enough. Anyway, I've been testing that out and I've been having wonderful conversations with complete strangers. So, what I want to focus on in the new year coming is actually a number of things. Is uh, checking out some labels that I might have myself. I'm going to make a list and check them out and see where that all leads. I'm going to work on uh, more financial freedom, becoming liquid and um, upping my game. I want to work on my femininity, and there was something else. Can't quite remember. Oh, yes, taking care of my health, being much more focused on what I'm putting in my body and being more aware of the choices that I'm making. I've already started to do that and already seeing results.
Good.
And it's really great because like I'm actually physically changing my lab results over a period of 2 weeks. I'm 2 months, sorry, not 2 weeks. And like the doctor said, well, you should have medication for this. And I'm like going, okay, well, I'll give it a try and give me a prescription. And then I'll do something different with what I'm eating or what I'm doing, or I'm adding maybe a little bit more exercise. I'm actually moving that, the results, where he's like, oh, the medication is working. And I'm kind of, well, I haven't actually done that yet. If I need to, once I finish my experiment, then of course I will. But looking into more organic, homeopathic types of avenues. And also too, I really want to, there's things that I've wanted to do that I've denied myself. Uh, and I'm no longer going to do that. I'm going to give it a try. So if I want to do a pottery class, I'm going to do it. If I want to take up sewing, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm not going to sit there in my little wire hole giving myself all of these excuses why I should or should not. So, yeah. So what that, the impact that what I've started to do as a result of that shy label, it's kind of opened up a whole new world. Um, it's working, it's shifting. So I'm really looking forward to ringing in the new year and trying out new things and seeing where that takes me. So that's it.
That's excellent. Thank you, Jacqueline. And one of the things that it's going to be interesting. You said you're going to work on your femininity more. I always found you feminine. So just to give you a little bit of feedback on that. So I'm going to be fascinated to watch you over this year, see what you're doing and how that shifts for you.
Yeah, well, I'm noticing when I'm meeting up with guys that my independence seems to scare them in some way, or I don't know. I haven't quite put my finger on it yet. And it's not that I'm going to pretend to be more needy or in that type of way.
Good.
I just want to kind of maybe soften a few things. Maybe not be so forthcoming or like trying to how do I say this? Trying to like be on top of everything all of the time. I
Yeah.
can appear a little not weak in the sense of not being able to take care of myself and stuff like that, but being a little bit more maybe femininely vulnerable, if that makes sense. I don't really know. It's just a new era, so I'm not really sure, but I'll get back to you guys on all of it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'll have some examples. So, yeah, I'll start that tomorrow. I have a date.
Yay.
Let's see.
Yeah. From what I've known, you over a few decades now. One of the things that
Mm.
may
Go
I,
ahead.
thank you.
Sure.
So the only point of improvement that I would say when you were saying softening, I would say reposition how firm you are with your language. And it's
That's it.
because you can come across as um
Mhm.
like absolutely knowing it. And that can intimidate people.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I mean, it
Yes.
doesn't really it goes, I know then that I sort of I get firm with you at that point if I feel like I need to have this point clearly understood by you. And you've always appreciated that from me. You've said so many times. And so I appreciate that. Yet again, I'm suggesting that if you're going out on a date, that level of firmness may not be well received by most guys because most women, most men cannot be that kind of firm. So, and clear.
That's right.
And you
That's
are
right.
clear. And I
Mhm.
do appreciate that about you. A softer version of clarity would be very nice to see. I think you'd wear that very well.
Oh, thank you. Yes,
You're
I'm going to
welcome.
try it. I'm going to try that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm excited because I think it's going to really blossom into something. Oh, and another thing I want to work on is just like um, maintaining personal relationships. I have a tendency to disappear and then just reappear, and it takes so much more than that. And so that's another thing that I'm going to also start working on as well. But yes, I really appreciate the being not so firm, just like deliver it maybe with more care and concern or gentleness. This is gentleness because I do often feel or seem like to back people up when that's certainly not my intention. And
Yes.
I think it's the firmness or how I can pinpoint things quite clearly. And it could, somebody who's maybe not so aware, it could, ooh, what the heck's going on here? So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's definitely valid. Yeah,
Cool. Great.
great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Hey, Shane, are you good to jump in here?
Absolutely.
Great.
What did I learn about myself in 2025? I'm very good with self-sabotage. Very good with that. Uh,
Okay.
Self-talk matters. How you talk to yourself,
Yeah.
and nothing changes if nothing changes. If you don't make a choice to make some changes, nothing changes.
So true.
So we stepped out a little bit on, not a little bit, we stepped out on a limb, in February with taking on coach training, and then we turned that into taking on another 8,000 acres, another 500 cows, and, and it's been a good year, very busy. I I honestly think that without the coach training, without the being around BDE, we wouldn't be in the position we are with, business wise, that we are now. I don't think we would be. So it's been very helpful as far as that goes. Learn how to talk to others, yourself, other situations, and
Yeah.
everything that um, maybe with the situation that with leasing the place, without BDE, would I really know how to just sit back and listen instead of trying to just jump in and take charge? And so it's been very good,
Yep.
very blessed, very blessed. We live a blessed life.
Yes.
Shane, have you
Yes, Pat.
noticed a difference in the way people respond to you with you making some of these changes?
Yeah, I would say so.
What kind
Son-in-laws
of things do you
especially.
notice?
I think the son-in-laws both have kind of noticed a change since we started BDE and especially with the coach training and that, I was I was probably more, I don't know if you want to say quick to judge, where now I can step back and like, that okay, you can try it that way. It ain't really gonna work instead of just firing off like, no, we ain't doing it that way. That's dumb. Just kind of let them find their path and guide them instead of ask versus tell. There you go. Ask them to do some stuff instead of just tell them to do some stuff. So, um, I probably believe the neighbors have seen a change in in my attitude a little bit. I'm still kind of a bull in a china closet. If I need to move it, I'll figure out how to move it, whether it's I break my shoulder doing it or not, but we'll just do it. But so,
Yep.
oh, positive change.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
add in there real quick that Shane also he's been able to have some, father-in-law, son-in-law conversations that's needed to have man to man and not just tell them this is what I see you're doing. You either need to straighten up or something, or he's been able to be more open and ask the questions of like what's going on, and let them and then actually listen to what they're saying, not just have a conversation, okay, let's move on. So I've noticed that in him with the with the son-in-laws, because it's not always sunshine and roses, but
Yeah.
it would be really easy to snap your finger, well, this is what I said, this is how we're doing it, and this, and but to listen to them when they have, like, when we notice like they're down in the dumps or they've got something going on, because we all know mental health is a big deal, and when we see that in them, being able to notice that they're off or something, Shane has started leading into those roles of being somebody you can talk to and just, I'm here to listen and ask questions to make sure, basically just checking in. So I've noticed that with him, instead of just like, well, if they have a problem, they'll come talk to me, but he's take the initiative to ask the questions.
That's really well done. That is a big shift for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. And
Thank
Christy,
you.
Yeah.
great job supporting him in that.
Yeah. It's a lot easier when we know how to. That might not have been the proper way either, but
Yeah, but no, your tone of voice was spot on. I was going, yeah, well, it could have sounded harsh, but it did not sound harsh. It sounded gently honest. And
yeah,
I thought that is a level of clarity I wouldn't have heard from you before with Shane around or whatever. That would not have come out of your mouth.
no, you're right.
And so that's huge.
See, I told you it'd all work out in the end.
Oh, jeez.
You haven't lost a sense of humor there, Shane. Jesus.
Oh.
No, that's probably forever.
Yeah. Thank
I
God,
make a
eh?
joke about that now. There's been a lot of times in our life that I've said that with taking risk in our business. Honey, it'll all work out in the end. It just now smiles about it, but
Yeah. Yep.
Jackie
And
dropped
then,
off.
then I told you so on top of that.
Yeah.
I'm known better than to say that. I told you so, or what was that? Get over it. Don't say that.
That doesn't work well.
No,
Yeah.
that is not effective.
Yeah.
No. That is externally verifiably not effective.
Okay, great to hear.
Hey.
Okay. Patty,
Yes.
you're up. Oh, and
What have I learned this year? I've learned that with my models, I can do more and handle more in my life than I ever could without them. They have been really the key to handling difficult things when difficult things seem to stack. So I don't drift into overwhelm. I stay very present. I do what needs to be done, and then I do the next thing that needs to be done, and the next thing that needs to be done, instead of drifting into that whole anxiety thing about how much needs to be done, and then getting depressed that, oh, my life will never be any different. That kind of loop from the past to the future. It's, we refer to it as a trauma loop. It's also, I think, can easily be looked at as a mental health loop. Not necessarily just relating to trauma, but also to mental health, where we shift from the past to the future and we skip the present. And I've learned this year to stay rigorously present, rigorously, consciously choosing to stay present, very intentional. I've also discovered how irrelevant a lot of my own thoughts are. They're relevant to me and to nobody else. And I've found that in a funny way to be a very peaceful realization. I no longer feel burdened to tell people what I think about things. I just let it go. If they want to know, great. If they don't know enough to ask, I will ask them if they're interested in knowing. If they're not, then I let it go. But I no longer feel that sense of pressure to share or to throw my 2 cents into a pot, or this kind of thing. So it really, in many ways, makes my life a more peaceful place. And I can let a lot of stuff just flow past me because it's really not my business. And it's okay that it's not my business. And I don't even want it to be my business. It's like, insofar as things affect me or impact my life, I can ask questions and discover. When I take that approach, I have discovered that there are so many different ways of thinking about a thing that I hadn't thought of before. And so just when I ask a question and I think, okay, I'm looking for my opportunity to share what I think. And then when I hear their model of the world in the answer, or I hear their perspective, I'm like, that's not one I thought about before. And it just adds to my life, instead of, again, I'm not responsible for taking care of the world. I'm responsible for the things that are in my world, the people in my world, to the degree that they want me to be involved in that. And so learning sort of where the edges are has been a lot of my journey this year, has been learning where those edges are and taking risks of changing things and seeing what happens. So just kind of that discovery process. I love it, Shane. I've written it down as a Shane quote: "Nothing changes if nothing changes." And I think, I'm attributing that one to you, Shane, and I will make sure that, it's definitely meme worthy. It's really so profound and so simple that I really love it.
Yep.
So that's mine. Blair, you want to share yours?
Yes, thank you. So retrospectively, looking back at 2025, I found out that I would say more resilient than I thought I likely would be. With all of the health stuff, losing a significant relationship in my life, and then finding I'm okay. And in fact, I'm doing quite well with all of that. Is in a lot of ways surprising to me, but feeling happy and clear about um, going forward and looking for relationships. But I'm looking for relationships in a lot of areas. I've got um, I reached out to TJ or Tim Arway, and former client, well, and great guy, and just wanted to catch up with him, just see what his life was about, and shared with him about mine. And like this last 2 years have been a lot of health challenges, not just a little with the cancer and then prostate cancer, all that stuff. And then the hip replacements and the leftovers from the radiation, which my last thing, hopefully knock on wood, is the surgery tomorrow that takes care of the fistula. As I jokingly say, the extra asshole, and just move forward. And so it doesn't feel weighty. Like it really doesn't feel weighty to me at all. It's just next, you know. Um, so that has been oddly satisfying for me. My hips are not back to 100%, but I had for about a week and a half before my second hip surgery, I was walking nearly 100% normal again. And so it's only been, what, 6.5 weeks since my previous surgery. I'm still not 100%, but I'm not walking with a cane. I'm, going forward and going forward reasonably well and doing my exercises. And so, and just committed to a process. And with TJ on my business, committed to that process, and stumbling across with Jessica is help. I met her through going out there and getting stuff up on LinkedIn and having just meeting people, just connecting with people. And so that happened. And so I'm interested to see where this year goes. And met another lady on Sunday, and Eileen, and that was an eye-opening experience, sharing about myself, I used to call them, well, I do call them my dreams, but all of the things that I did when I was a kid to early 20s, when I was starting to see a way of figuring out mind models and all of the stuff that went along with that, all of the training that I got in my dreams, actually. Anyway, that's another very long story, which I won't get into right now. But anyway, so that was eye-opening to me. So there's lots of eye-opening stuff that I am discovering. And it's fun. Like it's flat out fun. So 2025 has been a year of rediscovery. And so that's been surprising. You hit 70 and all of a sudden all of this opportunity and change and stuff starts opening up. It's rather exciting in a lot of ways. So anyway, yeah, that's been my 2025. A good year for change. Like,
It's been.
yeah,
And the rate of change, the interesting thing about that is that the rate of change in the world right now is just incredibly fast.
yeah,
And so being able to explore change within your own life
oh, yeah.
um, in such a resilient way is is significant in this world.
Yeah, and the whole point of TJ's stuff, like resilience is huge, but like when before in the history of business in this world could one guy, like with the help of a mentor, TJ in my case, um, who's brilliant at putting together businesses, and I needed to help him straighten out his world, which I did years ago, and now he's helping me straighten out mine. But he left um, attraction marketing. He still owns it, but he left the CEO position to go take on other challenges in his and in life. And the challenge that he took on was how to use AI to create a marketing business for coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, like one man shows where you don't have to go and get an entire orchestra. You can be a one-man band because you can get the orchestra orchestrating through AI, and you can put all the component pieces together. And so I'm in the process of doing that, and I feel honored that he's taken me under his wing. Um, I helped him years ago, and now it's being reciprocated. And I feel so honored and appreciated for that. So big deal, very big deal for me.
Well, Blair, that's your perspective going into 2026.
That is.
For our wrap up tonight, guys, I would like to ask you, what wins are you taking from 25 into 26? Or what do you want to create for yourself for 2026? Something you might want to explore or discover in yourself. So that's the place I'd kind of like to go. Pick something that you have traction with, something that might work for you, that resonates with you. So give you just a moment, and then
Well, I just wanted to say that is the direction that I'm excited to go in for
okay.
2026. Like that's huge.
Yeah, Jacqueline, the questions, I'm going to repeat the questions for Jacqueline. What wins are you taking out of 2025 and into 26? Or what do you want to work on or build on? And Jacqueline, you answered that a lot already for 2026. Is there a mind model stack, for example, that you might create for yourself to make yourself more effective? Or is there something you would like to test and discover, play with in 2026 that's new for you? So those are the kinds of things that I'm looking at. Were you able to hear me on those, Jacqueline? Awesome. Do you want to start? Because I noticed you took your mic. You opened your mic. Would you like to start us?
Sure.
It is
I
wrap
think,
up. It is wrap up. So,
okay. So this is actually a great theme for this evening. I mean, it's timely. I mean, it's the end of the year. I still can't believe it's the end of the year almost. Like, gosh, where does time go? And so what it brings me back to is being more in the moment, enjoying every bite, looking around and just absorbing and really working on being in the here and now. So my modeling is being in the now. To me tonight it was a night, and yeah, thanks for having me again, and I look forward to everyone's wrap up.
Well, I'm really excited with the things that you shared for 2026. I hope you'll stay with us so we can watch your journey.
Absolutely. I love that.
Of course, wherever I am, I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have, shockingly, like from all over the world. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yes. Thank you, Jacqueline.
Thank
And,
you.
blessed holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year to you. We'll see you on the other side. Leslie, is there one of those perspectives that you'd like to share with us in your wrap up tonight?
Yes, thank you. I want to strengthen my IBER. I've been using it a lot, and I'd like to continue working with that concept. In moving forward. I know the new year is going to create some changes. There are going to be some changes. There has to be some changes. We're just about finished a very large project business-wise. But I think it's time to start winding it down. And so it means a transition to build on opportunities that do exist. And it's going to take some. I think right now, part of my whole situation is that I just might be a little burnt out.
Mm.
And so I'm kind of stepping back from some activities because I'm not doing very well with them, and just look to pick those up again in the new year.
Mm-hmm.
But to
Build
give my
some space into your life for you.
sorry,
Build some space into your life for you.
yes, and that's yeah, you're right. Build some. That's exactly, and that is what started to happen. My son, one of my sons, gifted me with a 3,600 piece Lego
Oh,
of the USS Enterprise 1701D. This thing is huge.
my son has the
Millennium Falcon or the Death Star?
it's not the Death Star because it's not round, but it's the giant ship. He's got one of those, and he just moved, and it was like, somebody has to carry this because it can't break.
Yeah. So we've started spending time together putting this
That's
model.
a wonderful thing to do, Leslie. I'm so
So
excited.
it's just so diverse for what I normally do.
When you get it done, show us a picture.
Yeah, please.
Well, I'm going to have it hanging in the greenhouse. So
Okay. Well, I was going to say when it's done, we want to see it.
you will see it. Promise.
Good.
Excellent.
So that it's a wonderful intermediate transition to slow me down, to stop and get ready for next year.
Wonderful. Did you give me your number for tonight?
I'm giving it a 10 tonight.
Oh, thank you.
It's learned a lot from the interactions, and tonight has given me that okay signal. I'm okay signal in doing what I'm doing and how I'm going about it.
Excellent.
Nice.
Little affirmation for the end of the year.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Leslie. Christy, is there any one of those perspectives that you could share?
I was hoping you called me because my mind is going crazy. So I think let me see here. So wins that I've learned, I really like how you said, Patty, that that you're able to handle more than you ever thought you could this last year, and I feel that within myself also. I've learned also, not taking things personal in some aspects that I've learned with all six of us adults that work here and live here, that we all see things a little differently. And I mean, we have the same end goal, but sometimes the way it comes about, like if it doesn't happen my way, I've learned not to take it personally. Anyway, but it also has allowed me to, the mind models, have conversations that I'm not necessarily afraid to have anymore with, thinking if I say something, then they're never going to talk to me again, or that I will lose that relationship or something in that sense. So that is a big win for me. Something that I'm going to, I mean, we've kind of started stepping into it, and to move into 2026 is, which is a big change for me, because it's always been my way for the last 20 plus years as far as running our ranch business. And all six of us could run it from the outside and the hard work and whatnot, but the book work and the nuts and bolts of things, I've really invited the girls in to be way more hands-on and throw out their ideas of how we do things. We've set up spreadsheets that everybody can get into from each their homes to plug things in. And, just to be able to have those conversations of, this is how I've done it. If there's a way that you want to try, or allowing them to have a say in things and feel valuable and whatnot. So that's something that we're really, really working hard on to do. Well, I'm working on to have them all be a part of it. It was really cute the other day. The girls were in, and I had, a pile of stuff here, and I'm like, okay, Beck, these are the things I need you to figure out, put in order, find the numbers, and then we need to plug them over here. And Allison, this is the part of the wrench stuff that I need you to get into, find the numbers and plug them in over here. And Allison's husband, Luke, came in, and he's like, wow, it sounds like you guys got a lot of important stuff going on in here. And I'm like, we do. There's a lot more than just, driving around checking cows to keep this place operating. And so it's kind of, I thought it was going to be a lot more stressful letting them help me, because I was just like, I'll just do it. But it's been more fun, the three of us working together and seeing how we all can kind of come up with things. And we've got like color coded papers that we're putting together, and then we have, allowing them to use the things that they're really good at and have a piece of. So that's something that, I'm really digging into for next year and excited about. So
Shane was not invited to help with the book work.
no, Shane was not. So
What's your number?
my number is a big, big 10, because I've missed you all so much, and it's a really great, it's really great to know that even if I didn't make it to the meetings, or the groups, or whatever you want to say, that I still got it.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
you
do.
do. Yes, you
You-
do.
Oh,
Shane, would you like to weigh in?
Well, she rambled. She took up
you did.
a lot of my time. So, yeah, no, I'll
You
start
didn't
out.
ramble. You were highly effective there, Christy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm. I'll start out with my number. I'll go right along with the 10 as well. It's been a great night. Great catching up with all of you. Great to remember, go back over what we did learn for 2025 and beyond. What I initially wrote down when Blair asked that question earlier, for what do I want to build for 2026, and I want to use, I've had an old piece of paper on my desk for a long time, like clear back to February, S-SMART system,
Right.
simple, specific, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and timely. That I wrote down identifiable, repeatable, duplicatable. It's not Leslie's, but Leslie mentioned it, the IBER and stuff. But anyway, with all the tools in our toolkit with Blair's mind models, I wrote down that I want to build a six-figure trading account in 2026.
Okay.
Awesome.
We'll be
So-
excited to see you do it.
Me too.
Do I have to share?
Okay.
No.
Brent.
Yeah. Man, what, 2026? I'd have to say there's a couple things that I like Blair is getting out there and seeing people like Jackie was doing, and been pretty focused on my own things, and it's gets pretty lonely sometimes. You're by yourself, not
I
you
was
don't
going
get
to
out and
say, we're
do.
not that far away, Brent. You've had a
Yeah.
standing invitation for years. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've been meaning the west side of the state. I haven't been there in several years, so it'd be nice to get
You
out that
guys live
way.
in the same state?
Yes.
Yes.
Jeez, that's close.
Yeah. Only like 4 hours away or something. That's got to be something like that. Three,
Yeah,
four,
something
something
like
there.
that. I would think it
Yeah.
was, I would think it would be closer than 4 hours.
That's
Yeah,
like a
it's somewhere in
Walmart
between there,
back
between
for
three
me.
and four. What's that?
4 hours. It takes us that long to drive to Walmart and back.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think in 4 hours I can get to the UP in 4 hours. Yeah, up there, to the bridge and up across the bridge. So,
I
yeah,
think
Patty,
you're looking at more like 2.5 hours, Brent.
yeah, somewhere between there, 2.5 to 3, some depending on which way, how it takes to get there. But yeah, because it take 96 Grand Rapids and then go north from there. So
Just saying.
yeah.
So you can put us
Uh,
on your list for 2026.
Speaking of Ferris
Yeah.
State, they're in a national championship game next weekend, football team. So yeah, 2 years in a row, third time in 4 years. It's a
Wow.
rival. Like when I played at Wayne State, so we're in Detroit, Ferris State's and Big
Okay.
Rapids. So, but yeah, they've been doing really well since 2011. So it's good to
Okay.
see.
So what else do you want to invest
Um,
in for 2026?
Sorry. Yes, the continue on things that I've been doing, like thinning things out my life, the just objects, having things collected, getting rid of those. So I've been doing that slowly, thinning those things out. Just seems to get rid of some clutter for more clarity, physical space clarity.
Mhm.
Um, one of that goes along with that is like little projects that just pile up one after the other and too many at one time, so you don't get completed and finish up those, and then build a system where it's just one, depending on the size of the project, just one at a time, and not to pick up another one before
Mhm.
completing one.
Mhm.
So, because eventually they just pile up, build up, and then you don't get to them for years sometimes.
Mhm.
So, doing that. Um, and like was what like Leslie was saying, the use of IBR,
Mhm.
setting that up to work on steps in moving forward to get things accomplished
Mhm.
quickly and having a path forward moving. So yeah, that would be 2026 for me.
Sounds good, Brent.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, for me, um, tonight has been a 9.5. It's wonderful to spend the time with you guys. It's wonderful to share the wins and see the growth and the successes, the life change. Those are the things that are big drivers for me with my models. So I'm very much excited to see what's going on in your lives. Um, for me, for 2026, um, I am tackling things that I've perceived in the past as too big to tackle. So I have um, a lot of things from my mom that I just haven't dealt with. stuff. And I'm just looking at ways I can take small bites of things that over a year I might see some bigger changes, that incremental, which is IBER, the incremental steps to some visible change. So I want more organization in my life, and I have 2 or 3 different avenues to explore with reference to using mind models from a coaching and an instructive sort of point of view. So I'm looking forward to testing those and seeing where those things might take me. And as Jacqueline put, I have some personal health goals too, in terms of building some strength and positioning myself to go the distance, positioning myself for the next stretch of the road. So Blair, how about you?
Well, I did a little bit, but yeah,
Mhm.
you know what? Overall, retrospectively, I think this has been a great year.
It
Um,
has been.
like a lot for, you know, the BDE has given me back so much. Um, and I just want to thank you, Patty, and if Becky, Tim, and Colin were here, I'd be thanking them as well. But Patty, thank you so much for your contribution. It's been huge. I see an opportunity to go forward here with BDE,
Yeah.
and I am learning a little bit about marketing on YouTube. And I think I'm going to try and figure out how to make thumbnails for my stuff so that I can put it up properly on YouTube. Anyway, it's just a thought. Um, you know, figure out how to do that, and AI is the tool that I can use to help that. So that's going to be one of my challenges for the new year. So for me, all in all, I'll just give this. I'm in a really good headspace today, so it's a 10 for me
Awesome.
today. Yeah, it's 10. So it's great. And with
Wonderful.
that, Patty,
I
was there?
I was going to say, I'm happy to take us out if you could put up the
Yeah,
slide.
I'm bringing it up. There we go. I think. There we go.
Okay. First thing I want to highlight is Blair's insider notes. Starting with episode 318, when you subscribe for $25 a month or $300 a year, you get everything from 318 onward. And most of the time, there's probably 50% of the material we prepare that we don't get to, but it's all stored there for resources. And these videos that Blair has been doing, they're on the insider notes as well. So you
I
can
also want to
revisit
mention
them.
to you that there's
Yes.
on the insider notes, there's also a generally a 14 to 16, sometimes 17-minute conversation that I've put together or had AI put together that are going over the highlights of this week's scripts or the notes, the insider notes, and it's reviewed. So it's not just this. This is the full in-depth thing, but there's a condensed version of it that's there in the BDE insider notes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. If you want to follow up on this information, if you're joining us for the first time, Blair has 2 books out, Ultimate Mind Hacking and Phobia Freedom Formula. So you can get more knowledge through the insider notes and through his books. You can also join, there's a link there to join us on the Blair Dunkley Experience if you wish to have firsthand experience and join the conversations that we have every week. We will not be here the 23rd and the 30th, and we will be rejoining on January 6th. So thank you all for joining us for tonight. We are here with the exception of the 23rd and the 30th, we're here every week, 7 p.m. Mountain,
Mountain,
9
correct.
p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
And then beyond that, y'all can figure your own time zones. So, but, you know, blessed Christmas to all of you and Happy New Year. We look
Yeah.
forward to seeing you in January. You all take
Merry
care.
Christmas.
Thank you
Merry
guys.
Christmas and happy holidays, everybody.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.